Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another episode of The Dictionary, hosted by me, Spencer. This is the best podcast in the world. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I think I kind of already said that. Why say it again? I don't know. You deserve to be welcomed twice because you're so important. Right away, let's talk about the words. The first word in this episode, of course, if you listened or watched the previous episode, you know exactly where we're going. We're starting off strong with the word flatus, a word that I did not know until the previous episode. Flatus, noun from 1651. This is gas generated in the stomach or bowels. All those little gas bubbles are the flatus. Is there a plural? No, it's either flatuses or flati. That's what I think. Flati, please. Flati, go be free. Okay, bye-bye. This is a Latin word, and it means act of blowing or also act of breaking wind. Why don't any of us know this word? Did you know this word? Probably not. The chances that you knew this word are very low. The majority of you did not know this word. We know flatulent and flatulence. You know, those are good words. But flatus? I don't believe I had ever heard of flatus before, and I would have said flatus. That's the Latin way to say it. But no, here in American English, we must say flatus. A word. Please say this word now. Okay, moving on. Oh, what's the sound effect that I'm going to make today? Let's do not a fart sound, because we've done plenty of that recently. Let's go, whoa. I don't know why. All right, the next word is flatware. I had a spoon. Had a spoon in here. It's gone. That's some flatware. This is a noun from 1746. Relatively flat tableware. It's relatively flat. Not, spoon is curved. The fork is curved. It's flattish. But especially eating and serving utensils as knives, forks, and spoons. Compare to hollowware. Hollowware? Would that be like other types of spoons, like big ladles and stuff like that? Is that hollowware? I don't think I've ever heard of hollowware. I'm going to dress up as hollowware for Halloween. Look at me. I'm a spoon. Okay. Yeah, I like that flatware is relatively flat. A knife should be flatware. Spoons and forks, I think we need another name for those. Not hollowware, but something curvedware, maybe? Sure, why not? Whoa! Next is flatways. Adverb from 1692. The synonym is flatwise, which is whoa. Our next word, flatwise. Adverb from 1601. With the flat surface presented in some expressed or implied position. With the flat surface presented in some sort of position, in an implied position, some expressed position or implied position. So if there's a thing that has a flat surface and also a not flat surface, when you are presenting the flat surface forward or to whatever thing is the subject of this situation, then that thing is being presented flatwise. Here's a glass. The bottom is flat, basically, relatively flat. And so I'm presenting this glass to you flatwise or flatways. The rest of it, this is also flat, but it's also angled. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the best example. Whoa. Oh, now we're getting into the, what's his name from that show? Blossom? Whoa. No. Okay. Whoa. Next is flat work, one word, noun from 1925. Laundry that can be finished mechanically and does not require hand ironing. Finished, I don't fully understand what that means. You can finish your laundry mechanically, meaning you throw it into a machine or another kind of machine? Flat work. Laundry that can be finished mechanically and does not require hand ironing. Well, that's very good. Because I don't want to be ironing anyway. I guess, does that mean that like it just sort of goes flat on its own? If you're hanging it, it becomes flat and no wrinkles? That's why it doesn't need ironing? I don't know. I don't know about this flat work. Woo! Next is flatworm. One word for worm, noun from 1874. Any of a phylum of soft-bodied, usually much flattened acoelomate worms, and these are called also platyhelminth. Platyhelminth. Okay, and that's also the phylum name, Platyhelminthes or Platyhelminthes. You might be wondering, what are some flatworms that I should be watching out for? Please give me some examples of flatworms. Well, we have planarians, also flukes, and also tapeworms. Ah, yes, everybody's favorite, the tapeworm. I guess we'll be seeing fluke in just a handful of weeks or months, probably. Okay, yeah, flatworms. They are soft, so soft. Acoelomate. Acoelomate worms. That word is spelled Acoelomate. Not entirely sure what it means. I'm sure we read it back in the A's. All right, those are flatworms. Worms that I think are just kind of flat. That's pretty much it. Whoa! Next is flaunt. You can say flaunt or flaunt. This is a verb from 1566. Number 1, to display or obtrude oneself to public notice. Obtrude. I don't know what that means, but based on the context, I can figure it out because I know what flaunt means, and also display is you are putting yourself out there for the world to see. But I think it's done in a sort of a attention-grabbing way. Give me attention. Look at this, right? It's not just a casual putting yourself out there in public. It's this is what you want to be looking at. Please and thank you. Obtrude. Yeah, that's an interesting word. We have an example. A great flaunting crowd. That's a quote from Charles Dickens. So the crowd was displaying itself? To display or obtrude oneself to public notice. Interesting. A great flaunting crowd. All right, well, number 2 is to wave or flutter showily. And the example is the flag flaunts in the breeze. I don't think the flag is doing this on purpose. Oh, look at me. I'm fluttering showily. Look at how fluttery I look when the wind is blowing my flagness in the air. Ooh, I'm putting on a little dance for you. That flag, that flag is so showy. They're always just trying to get attention. Come on, flag. Those were intransitive, and here is transitive. Number 1, to display ostentatiously or impudently. The synonym is parade. As in, okay, so I guess the first one, display, obtrude, it's happening to the crowd, to the flag. But here we go, the thing is doing it itself, kind of. To wave, where is it? To display ostentatiously or impudently. Parade is the synonym. The example is flaunting his superiority. He knows he's superior. He knows he's better than everybody else. And so he's flaunting it. It's like, hey, look at me. I'm so much more attractive than you. I'm so much funnier, so much smarter than all of you. I'm so much more talented in every possible way. I'm going to flaunt this. I'm going to parade it in front of your faces. And then I would like to just punch him in the face. His beautiful, beautiful face. Ostentatious and impudently. Yes, this is like, it's all about me, blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel. Number 2 is to treat contemptuously, as in flaunted the rules. That is a quote from Louis Untermeyer. Don't know what or who he was talking about. They flaunted the rules because they were like, nah, I don't care about the rules. I'm too good for the rules. The rules don't apply to me. I'm just going to break them. The rules were meant to be broken. I'm going to flaunt them. I'm going to sit on them, and you can't have the rules. A synonym for the whole thing is the word show. Here, watch this show, listen to this show, as I flaunt my ability to read sometimes. Flaunt is a noun, flauntingly is an adverb, and flaunty is an adjective. Flaunty, that's such a flaunty person over there. Flaunty and jaunty. Here we go. We have a big chunk of usage information for the word flaunt. So here we must read this. We must. I always love the usage information. We don't get it very often. Okay. Although transitive sense 2 of flaunt, I will reread that one to you. It's to treat contemptuously, and that was about flaunted the rules. So, although transitive sense 2 of flaunt undoubtedly arose from confusion with flout, F-L-O-U-T, the contexts in which it appears cannot be called substandard. The example here is meting out punishment to the occasional mavericks who operate rigid games, tolerate rowdyism, or otherwise flaunt the law. And that is a quote from Oscar Lewis. We have another example. Observed with horror the flaunting of their authority in the suburbs, where men put up buildings that had no place at all in a Christian commonwealth. And that is a quote from Marchette Chute. Marchette Chute. There's another example. In our profession, very rarely do we publicly chastise a colleague who has flaunted our most basic principles. That is a quote from R.T. Blackburn. And that was from AAUP Bull something. Bulletin? Not sure what that was. So I guess those were examples of how people were using the word flaunt, where they could have used the word flout, which I don't know that word. Observed with horror the flaunting of their authority in the suburbs. It's all about treating contemptuously. It's like, no, I don't care about this thing. Let's see, flaunting of their authority. Yeah, again, I don't care about the authority in the suburbs. I think. Meting out punishment to the occasional mavericks who operate rigid games, tolerate rowdyism, or otherwise flaunt the law. Bleh, the law. I laugh at the face of the law. So, moving on. If flaunted... Oh, no, sorry. If you use it in your writings or your speakings, however, you should be aware that many people will consider it a mistake. Use of flout, in the sense of flaunt 1, is found occasionally. So I guess would that be number 1, to display ostentatiously or impudently? Let's read the example. The improper pronunciation, the blonde said, flouting her refined upbringing, is prefix. Oh boy, this is a confusing thing to do in an audio medium. First of all, this is a quote from Mike Royko, and Mike Royko wrote that the blonde was flouting her refined upbringing. The blonde was brought up in a refined way, maybe with a silver spoon in her mouth, so to speak, metaphorically. And what did the blonde say? The blonde said, the proper pronunciation is prefix. I don't know what the blonde is talking about, but that's okay. Then that's not the point of the story. The point here is that the blonde was flouting her refined upbringing. Not flaunting, but this is what the usage is telling us, that sometimes flout and flaunt get used interchangeably, and you could just do whatever you want. I am not familiar with the word flout, and I guess it's similar to flaunt, maybe? It's probably more similar to treating contemptuously, because that's what the whole first part of the usage said. And I think that is everything. That is all of the usage information that we have here. So flaunt and flout are kind of similar, or have become similar, because people have been using it vice versa, and it seems like they are now similar because people probably just got confused with these two similar sounding words, and now we just accept them as they're sort of kind of interchangeable. But some people will say that it's a mistake, but not me, because you can just do what you want. Okay, let's look at the etymology for flaunt. It is perhaps of Scandinavian origin, akin to the Old Norse flana, which means to rush around. Rush around. So I guess you're just rushing around, showing yourself to everybody. Rushing, hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, let's have fun. We are having fun. We're always having fun. All right, moving on to whoa. The next word is flauta. Please give me some flautas. This is a noun from 1976. It is a usually corn tortilla rolled tightly around a filling. And deep fried. We cannot forget about the deep fried part. That is maybe the most important part. Deep fried. The example of the filling is possibly meat. Chicken flauta, beef flauta, pork flauta, bean flauta. Bean is not a meat, but it is a protein. I obviously want these. The vegan ones, of course. Put in the fillings. Deep fry it until it's crispy and hot. Ooh, yeah. This word is American Spanish, and it literally means flute, because it's just like a long tube that you can pretend to play the flute with it, but it's not hollow, and I don't think there's any holes to create pitches and sounds, so good luck playing the flauta as a flute. It just looks like a flute. Wonderful. Whoa! Next is flautist or flautist. I typically say flautist. This is a noun from 1860. The synonym is flutist, the one who is playing the flute. Maybe they're eating flautas while playing flutes. I mean, because clearly we see a connection to flute and flauta. It's from the Italian flauto, which means flute, and that's pretty much it. But I feel like I've heard that flautist is the more proper way to talk about a flute-playing person, a flute-playing person, but you can also say flutist, if you so choose. Whoo! Next we have flavanone. Flavanone. F-L-A-V-A-N-O-N-E. Noun from 1949. This is any of various aromatic ketones that often occur in plants as glycosides and that constitute a subset of the flavonoids or flavonoids. They are a subset of the flavonoids, and so they are flavanones. The words here, the way that the etymology is just these very scientific-y things coming together. So that's where you get the word. They are aromatic ketones, so maybe they smell a certain way. In plants. The flavanones and the flavonoids are in plants. All right, that's enough of that one. But we got some other more scientific-y words. Whoo! Next is flavin. Flavin. Well, we're going to have more flavor words. I don't know. I'm just thinking of Flavor Flav in this section. Okay, flavin is a noun from 1933. It is any of a class of yellow, water-soluble nitrogenous pigments derived from isoalaxizine and occurring in the form of nucleotides as coenzymes in flavoproteins, especially the synonym riboflavin. Boy, this is difficult for my brain because I don't know what any of these words mean. That word, what is it? Isoallozazine or xazine? ISOALLOXAZINE. Don't know how to pronounce it. That's okay. Pigments. It's pigments. It's all about pigments. Flavin or flavin. This is from the Latin flavus or flavus, which means yellow. So that's helpful. But there's more at the word blue for some reason. Whoo! Next is flavin adenine dinucleotide. 3 words. Noun from 1954. This is a coenzyme C27H33N9O15P2 of some flavoproteins. It is a coenzyme of some flavoproteins. And what is it called again? It is called flavin adenine dinucleotide. That's all I can tell you. That's it. Nothing else. Whoa. Next is flavine. So it's flavin, but we added an E at the end, so the pronunciation becomes flavine. Noun from circa 1853. Any of a series of yellow acridine dyes or acridine dyes having antiseptic properties. The example of, I guess, one of these dyes would be acraflavine. Sure, why not? So maybe your antiseptic might have this as an ingredient, this flavine. And, of course, we get the name because it's yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, we got one more word for this episode. Whoo! It is flavin mononucleotide. 2 words. Mononucleotide is 1 word. Noun from circa 1953. The synonym is FMN. The letters FMN. And let's see. Let's go to where we think that's going to be, just in case you want to jump to that episode if it exists yet. FMN clearly stands for flavin mononucleotide, but there's a whole separate entry for FMN where you'll get more information. That episode is going to air on April 29th, 2025. I got nothing. I got nothing for these scientific-y words. It's probably yellow. That's all I can say. All right. With that, now we must pick a word of the episode. We had today in this episode flatus, flatware, flatways, flatwise, flatwork, flatworm, flaunt, flauta, flautist, flavanone, flavin, flavin adenine dinucleotide, flavin, and flavin mononucleotide. And I think I'm going to pick flaunt as the word of the episode. How can Spencer figure out how to sing different songs? He can't. No, he just can't. Flaunt, flaunt, flaunting my stuff. Flaunt, flaunt, it's really just fluff. Hey, that's a song. Flaunting, flaunting, everywhere flaunting. Okay, and with that wonderful short silliness, I'm going to tell you about another movie that I watched, which is The Beekeeper. Finally watched this movie. I tried to watch it on the plane maybe last year, and the audio, it was all like skipping. I think maybe the vinyl was skipping on the plane, and the audio was off, and it was very irritating, so I didn't watch it then. But I watched it this time, and it's just a ridiculous, fun movie. How Did This Get Made? Did an episode about it, and they did a great job, as usual. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch if you just want something fun and ridiculous. Watching somebody just destroy people and buildings and working his way up to the top to get revenge for somebody that he cared very much about. Yeah, it's a good one, and they got a great cast in it too. Okay, I think that's it. I'm really trying to bring just some more silliness and fun to this, which, it's a process for me. I'm not used to really doing that, so I've been slowly over years and years trying to get that out of me, and it's coming. Oh, it's coming. All right, I'm gonna end this episode because now I'm gonna go home and watch the Oscars. The Oscars are tonight, and it's awards are funny, but come on, it's movies, and I like movies, clearly. So let's go watch the Oscars tonight. I hope you have enjoyed all of this just nonsense, because it's just fun to learn and fun to be silly. So here we go. We're going to end the episode 1, 2, 3. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.